We are now joined by Mr. Harvinder Singh, General Secretary at All India Bank Officers Confederation, AIBOC. He's joining us in our Delhi studios. Mr. Singh, thank you so much for being with us on NDTV Profit.
My pleasure.
We're just 5 days away from, the end of what the government had said would be limits on your withdrawals. Now, we just heard the SBI chief recently say, I can only give you as much money as I get. I don't know whether these, limits to withdrawals will stay or will they go. But we'll give out money once we start getting the money. What is the situation like? I was just doing a poll here amongst, those who work here, whether they expected the exemptions to go. And they said, no, I don't think the way it is, you go to an ATM, it's empty. So I don't think there's been a big change. And we expect you're not going to get all your money when you want it. Those restrictions will stay. What's the ground position like?
Ground reality is that more than 15.4 lakh crores have been withdrawn from the system, and only 5 point something has been introduced as a new or a fresh currency. There is huge gap of currency notes. RBI is not able to supply to as per the requirement of the banking industry. The limits of 24,000 withdrawal per account per week or withdrawal from the ATMs to the extent of 2,500 we are not able to meet even those requirements. No, there is no chance that after 30th of December these limits will be scrapped and earlier situation will be restored. It will depend upon the supply of the currency notes by Reserve Bank of India, which will decide the restoration of the situation. As of now, I am sure, and as SBI chief has told, I have been telling for the last many days, even at the start of the demonetization process also, that it will take a long time. Maybe by February or March we will be able to restore our situation.
Right, but what is the difference in the situation on November 9th and now? Immediately post the announcement, I'm sure the amount of new currency with banks was lesser. Hasn't that situation improved by now? Can there be perhaps a different limit? Okay, not 25,000, maybe a little more. Or do you think that will not change? It will still be as strict as it was on November 8th?
So things have of course changed. But the situation has improved only in big cities, metros only. But in smaller towns, still there is a lot of problem. And entire anger, anguish and wrath of public is being faced by we bank employees. So getting the feedback from my rank and file all over the country, we are 280,000 officers running public sector and private sector banks. The feedback is not good. Maybe personally speaking, I don't think that limit of 24,000 or 2,500 will be relaxed immediately after 30th of December. But maybe after 1 month or so, some relaxation is given. But situation to restore at pre-8th November level, it will take 2 to 3 months.
February, March also.
This is my
estimate.
Guess only.
Okay, now you are getting feedback from bank employees. Repeatedly, the government has told us that such a huge exercise has been done and there is no untoward law and order situation. What is it that bank officers are facing? I understand they're under a lot of stress because they're putting in the extra hours, working on the weekends, doing nothing but this. What is their, is there no problem at all? Do they feel threatened? Do they feel demoralized? What is the situation with bank officers now?
Immediately to summarize or to sum up this issue, I'll say we have gone back to the darkest area in an atmosphere of communication. Communication is totally lacking. Media and this social media have created a havoc. Even I'll blame media for that also. Except for, I have seen your news channels and discussions. Of course, you have been fairly considering the view of the bankers. But all other channels have started blaming bank officers. Once again, I'll use a couplet of फर्ज. इट सेज मिली सजा जो मुझे वो किसी खता पे ना थी, मिली सजा जो मुझे वो किसी खता पे ना थी फर्ज, मुझ पर जुर्म जो साबित हुआ वो मेरी वफा का था. It so happened that ever since 8th of November, we started working. We felt, we also from the organization gave the message to my officers and our staff that this is a national cause. We are for the policy of the government. If the intention behind that is to curb black money or to bring out or take out counterfeit notes, we were for that. We did our best, as you rightly pointed out. We didn't see day and night. We were working for a very long time. But when this process is almost over, we have seen that many agencies have started working against the bank employees.
Like who?
Like investigating agencies like CBI, police, and media also.
But Mr. Singh, do you blame them? Now you tell me, I go stand in a bank line for hours. I don't get my money because the money is out. And then I turn on the television and I see crores recovered there, crores recovered here. Crores of new currency in one house, in that house.
No,
but if the bank officials aren't doing it, who is doing it?
I'll explain.
And there may be a few people doing this, but to me, when I go to withdraw my money,
Certainly.
I say that person is getting his crores and I'm not even getting my thousands. There may be a few bad apples, but you feel very, very aggrieved and roiled.
Yes, you have all the points to get aggrieved and show your anger to bank employees. But let us understand the situation. Out of a currency of 15,04,000 crores, how much we have recovered through these resources? Hardly 400 to 500 crores. I am saying even a single rupee going out of the system like this, the person who is responsible must be punished. And from our organization, we have made a demand on Reserve Bank of India. Without investigations, no blame should be passed on. See, there is a proper system. When the cash is released by Reserve Bank of India, it reaches its currency chest only. From their currency chest, it is given to the banks. Once it reaches the bank, there is a proper system where every single piece of the new currency note as well as old currency note is recorded. It is in camera because banks received instructions on 9th of November when they were shut. The business was closed on that day. All these preparations were made. Many of the banks, like Bank of India in which I am working, we made certain procedure in the systems whereby even one person who is in the queue, if he has exchanged the notes, he will not be able to exchange the notes from any of my branches.
No, that is fair. See, just tell us how is this happening then? If the bank, some officials are not complicit, how is the new currency getting out of the system? See,
this is not my job. I can assure you that none of the officers of public sector bank or its employees is responsible because we are under scanner. Every transaction of ours was in a camera. Every note of ours is recorded.
Is it different for private banks?
You know it.
No.
All those officers who have been arrested and put behind the bars are from private sector banks.
Yes, but
Can you name even a single public sector bank?
This is the case this time, Mr. Singh, but previously we have seen and very senior ranking officials of PSPs being investigated for wrongly giving out loans, for receiving bribes. This has happened in the past. This is not happening for the first time. I'm saying, what is the due diligence? What is the background check being done about employees? Yes, they overworked, but how is this happening? Something is going wrong somewhere.
Yes,
how
I agree.
Can you plug the loopholes? Because in June 2013, Axis Bank was fined 5 crore rupees for the investigation done by RBI, which found them guilty of having done some laundering. Now, there is something going wrong. And this is, I remembered, LIC Housing PNB case as well, where again, senior PSP officials were being investigated. Now, something is happening. What is the bank doing on its own to see that their employees are in the clean?
See, first thing is I would like to tell you that we are not living in heavens of honesty. We are part of the system. But banking industry, the word bank itself is derived from the word trust. We are trusted more than any government department, that is for sure. That's why all the schemes of the government are being implemented through banks only, whether it is distribution of subsidy for gas, whether it is pension payment of government employees, why can't they payment? Earlier it was being paid through treasury, whether it is distribution of subsidies, why Aadhaar card is being linked through banks. They trust us Yes, of course, certain black sheeps are there. I agree, investigation must be done. All those who are culprits must be brought to books. But this is the job of RBI. But my objection to the system was that once everything is recorded in the cameras, why these investigating officers are going branch to branch without any substance and investigating the accounts of all officers, all employees. I don't have any objection, but this is unnecessary, creating demotivation and discouragement to the officers that we have done everything and now we are being looked upon as culprits. Whereas there are many instances you have shown on the TV channels that who are the banks, no action is falling on them. We from All India Bank Officers Confederation are demanding that licenses of those banks must be cancelled immediately, but no action is being taken.
But you yourself saying investigation must be done thoroughly, right?
It should be done thoroughly, but there are systems, no? Systems can be taken, forensic audits of those systems can take place. I am telling you, when even a single piece of note which I am handing over to my customer is recorded against that customer only, my records can be taken somewhere, those can be searched. Why investigating officers are running from branch to branch and investigating every account of the officer? Where is the need?
No, but
why? Okay.
What I want to understand is the whole system runs on trust, but has the trust diminished now? Because, the entire public supported this demonetization because they felt that, honest people will not be persecuted. But what is happening now? Do you think the trust has gone down for the people as well? When they are seeing that some bank officials are complicit in laundering money, doesn't the trust go down? How will you regain that?
Certainly it goes down. But from where it has gone? It's a subject matter of investigation. As General Secretary of All India Bank Officers Confederation, I sent 3 or 4 communications to Department of Financial Services, to Indian Bankers Association, to Governor Reserve Bank of India. Yes, we are ready to plug the loopholes wherever it is. But nobody has responded to us. We are the people who will implement all the policies of the government, but we are never consulted. When this suggestion of even applying the ink was given by us, that was taken or accepted after a long time. Like I told you, in my bank, system was devised whereby not even a single customer cannot come again and exchange the notes. Why it could not have been followed by Reserve Bank of India uniformly in all the banks? See, there was total lack of coordination, communication. At least those who are responsible to implement, they should have been taken into confidence. And still I am sure not even a single officer of public sector bank is involved in this. And I demand from you, through your channel, that strict action should be taken against all those who are responsible. And now I demanded from Reserve Bank of India to supply the position of cash supply city-wise, bank-wise. Why they are not doing it? Should I go and ask under RTI? It's your responsibility also. Demand from them. I am telling you on record.
There is a bias in who's getting more cash and who's not.
Yes, bias is in favor of private sector banks. And I am sure about that. My rank and file, they are very vigilant, countrywide. That's why, otherwise, how crores of rupees? If I am getting, a public sector bank is getting 20 lakh to 30 lakh rupees only per day, and there are huge queues. Do you think we will not pay to customers? And how much is 20 to 30 lakhs rupees? We will not be able to pay 24,000 rupees even to 100 customers. From where I will bring 2 crores or 3 crores to hand it over to a customer? That all is being done to big buys by certain quarters. It's a matter of either somewhere there is a leakage in supply to the banks, or it has gone from the currency chest. All is under control of Reserve Bank of India. I'm sure our systems are perfect. Right. Not even a single officer can be pointed or raised finger against him.
All right, Mr. Singh. Thank you so much for speaking with us at NDTV Profits.